This is Raf from Ifema, and today I'm going to do a really quick video on what are static websites and what are dynamic websites. So, you go to example.com. What happens behind the scenes? The browser sends what's called a request with some information about what you're looking for to a web server. Now, if you're running a dynamic site that's using a system like Drupal, WordPress, Joomla, a whole bunch of others, that system will handle that request. It'll say, alright, what's the URL? Let me look into the database, what content is there, is it published, who is the user who wrote it, let's generate this page of HTML, send it back, send back some CSS, some JavaScript to make the page look cool and work right, and that's how a dynamic site works. Now, what's a static site? A static site is where you already put together all that HTML, CSS, JavaScript into a file, and you plop it up on a server. The server says, hey, is there a file at this URL? Yep, okay, let me send it back. No database, no user, nothing like that. It just says, here's the file, I'm gonna send it back. So, what are the key differences between running a static site and a dynamic site? Well, running a dynamic site means you can update your content on the fly, people will see it, and you'll get all those changes up to date as soon as you click publish. With a static site, you have to go in and change the HTML or use a static site generator like Jekyll or Pelican or any one of the thousands of others that are out there. And then you need to deploy your files to your server or system like S3 or Firebase, and then people will get your changes. So basically, that's the core difference between static and dynamic websites. So you might wonder, why should I run a static website if it's a lot more complicated to put it up on the interwebs? Well, basically because it's a lot cheaper depending on what you need to do, how many users you need to handle. If you use a system like Firebase, S3, or a bunch of other services that will host your static website, they can usually do it for really cheap. Whereas even the most cheapest dynamic website hosts, which means you have to run a server, will cost you at least like $5 a month. Sometimes it's a little cheaper, but it's generally more expensive than running a static site.